to be in your midst today for the opening ceremony of the Chief of Army Staff Annual Conference 2022. The event has remained a regular platform for the holistic review of the Nigerian Army operational and administrative activities. I am optimistic that the conference will afford you the avenue to analyze and review the lessons learned from this year to enhance your activities in the coming year. As you review the activities of 2022 and make projections for 2023, I urge you to focus on consolidating on the achievements made so far and ensure continuity to improve the country's security situation. As a key element of our national power, the Nigerian Army will continue to be a major catalyst for our development, especially by providing the needed aid to civil authority. This administration has therefore maintained a robust policy towards modernization of the Nigerian Army and the armed forces in general. It is evident that the ongoing progressive modernization of the Nigerian Army under our administration has greatly improved the capacities as well as combat efficiency of service to discharge its roles. I wish to commend the Chief of Army Staff and other service chiefs, as well as heads of various security agencies, for your determination and improved synergy in accomplishing my directives. I am confident that the renewed vigor and standard injected in your operations, as well as our collective resolve and improved civil-military relations, would enable us to achieve our desired objectives. I wish to now reiterate that the provision of security to Nigerians will continue to receive premium attention by this administration. Accordingly, deliberate actions are going to provide the necessary support to enhance our national security. Numerous equipment and facilities have been provided to boost the capability of the Nigerian Army and, by extension, the armed forces. Sufficient intervention will be made to fast-track the activation of the Nigerian Army aviation. Additionally, is the acquisition of platforms for the Army aviation, which has been considered in the 2023 budget. This modernization drive would be vigorously sustained as efforts are also being made to reform our indigenous military-industrial complex through partnership with our allies. I am optimistic that this objective would be achieved soon to make us self-reliant in meeting our defense needs. I wish to also acknowledge the success achieved by the Army through the conduct of various training exercises. These exercises, such as Restore Hope, Fast Boat, Still Waters, Enduring Peace, Golden Dawn, among others, have continued to improve the readiness of our troops, while also checkmating various threats to security across the country. I must also commend you on the tremendous successes achieved in the war against terrorism, particularly in the Northeast region. The positive feedbacks I have been receiving reflect that an appreciable level of stability is being attained in the region. Furthermore, the increased instances of surrender by terrorists is an indication of your resilience and resolve to bring lasting peace to the Northeast. By the same token, your contribution to curtailing the youth restiveness and secessionist struggle in the Southeast, as well as banditry in the North Central and Northwest regions, are laudable. This could be attributed to conduct of intelligence-driven operations and improved synergy among the security agencies in the country. You must therefore maintain the tempo in all theaters and double your efforts in information gathering, as this will greatly assist you to comprehensively defeat all forms of security threats facing the nation. I assure you that the country remains grateful for your selfless services and sacrifices. We will forever be indebted to the officers and soldiers that paid the supreme price while defending Nigeria. The government will continue to cater for the families of the fallen heroes, as efforts are also sustained to improve the general welfare of the personnel through the provision of better amenities and programs. Let me also acknowledge the good relationship you have maintained with all sectors of the government, which has facilitated the fulfillment of our mandate. You should endeavor to work closely with all government ministries, departments, and agencies to facilitate the post-conflict stabilization process. We shall also continue to galvanize and encourage the public to support your efforts. I urge you to continue to improve your human rights obligations during your operations in line with global best practices. This is the major pathway for winning the hearts and minds of the people. It is also imperative for me to state that the Army and the armed forces in general will be required to support the civil authority by providing a peaceful environment to enable the successful conduct of the 2023 general elections. It is, however, imperative for all personnel to remain apolitical and continue to operate within the framework of the Constitution while performing this constitutional role. I am pleased to note that the Chief of Army Staff has issued a reviewed rules of engagement and code of conduct to guide personnel during the 2023 elections. The professionalism you exhibited in the successful conduct of the Anambra, Osun, and Ekiti state election should also be reflected in the 2023 general elections. Finally, as you deliberate during this conference, I wish to remind you to evolve enduring strategies that will consolidate your efforts in securing the country. I am happy to know that the leadership of the Army has continued to maintain a resolute posture for fulfillment of its role within the Constitution. I consider that the theme of this year's Chief of Army Staff Conference, which is Building a Professional Nigerian Army for the 21st Century Security Environment, is germane and I am optimistic that the theme will address the purpose of the conference. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is now my pleasure to formally declare the Chief of Army Staff Annual Conference 2022 open and wish you all fruitful deliberation.
We are grateful, sir, to you and the great people of Sokoto State not only for accepting to host this conference, but also for the immense support and contribution toward its success. The Chief of Army Staff Conference is held at the end of every year with the primary aim of reviewing our activities and re-strategizing for the improved performance. The conference is taking place during a period that has witnessed unprecedented support by His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari to boost the capability of the Nigerian Army and the armed forces in general. This laudable determination to speed up the modernization process of the Nigerian Army was the principal consideration that led to the selection of the theme of this year's annual conference, which is Building a Professional Nigerian Army for the 21st Century Security Environment. The theme was also intended to underscore the need for sustained efforts to adequately resource the Nigerian Army for optimal performance. So the year 2022 has been eventful for the Nigerian Army, particularly in the operational front, with concerted efforts sustained to defend the territorial integrity of the nation. On the external front, our troops have maintained close liaison with the forces of our neighboring countries, and the general security situation around our contiguous borders has remained relatively calm. Our involvement and leadership in the regional, multinational, and joint task force has continued to provide the desired direction for collective action toward decisively dealing with the menace of terrorism and other cross-border criminalities. In the home front, the major threats of terrorism, banditry, and insurgency have persisted but are largely contained across the country. Tremendous efforts have been made throughout the year to improve the general security, and positive results have been achieved in all theaters of operation. Nonetheless, we are mindful of the need to continuously appraise our activities, and this conference would be fully utilized to evolve enduring strategies to improve and conduct our constitutional roles. At this juncture, I wish to briefly, highlight some major strides achieved in the conduct of our activities in the year 2022. The fight against terrorism and banditry under Operation Hadenkai, Operation Hadarin Daji, Operation Forest Sanity has been intensified in the Northeast and Northwest respectively, leading to the decimation of criminals. Troops of the Nigerian Army deployed in other ongoing operations such as Operation Wild Stroke, Operation Safe Haven, and Operation Delta Safe, among others, have continued to collaborate with personnel of other security agencies to contain the myriad of security challenges in the North Central, Southeast, South-South, and Southwest regions of the country. The sustained large-scale ground offensives supported by air assets across all theaters have continued to keep the terrorists and other criminals off balance while building the confidence of the locals. The operations have led to mass surrendering of terrorists in the Northeast and rescue of several kidnapped victims in other theaters of operation. Additionally, large cache of arms, ammunition, and improvised explosive device materials have been recovered. The successes recorded so far in our operations are linked to induction of modern military platforms in the theaters of operation as force multipliers. These platforms include the latest tanks, armored personnel carriers or APCs, mine-resistant ambush-protected vehicles, MRAS for short, artillery guns, machine guns, night fighting devices, and unmanned area surveillance devices, among several other modern equipment. The introduction of this platform has significantly raised the fighting spirit and morale of the troops across all theaters of operation. Additionally, the successes recorded are also attributed to the improved synergy in our joint operations. I therefore wish to express my profound appreciation to the Honorable Minister of Defense, the National Security Advisor, the Chief of Defense Staff, the Chief of Naval Staff, the Chief of Air Staff, the Inspector General of Police, as well as heads of all other security agencies for their outstanding collaborative efforts. Special interventions were also made to boost readiness of troops through mission-oriented training during the year. Training exercises such as Operation Exercise Restore Hope and Exercise Fast Bolt, conducted in conjunction with other foreign partners, have continued to sharpen the skills of troops in weapon handling and tactics. The performance of troops who participated in these exercises has significantly improved as exhibited in various theaters after their deployment. Additionally, the operational performance of formations and units has continued to improve through the conduct of other routine training activities such as Exercise Stillwaters, Exercise Enduring Peace, and Exercise Golden Dawn. These exercises are traditionally conducted in the last quarter of the year in the South-South, Southwest, North-Central, and Southeast region to train the troops and also confront all forms of criminality during the Yuletide season. The exercises were flagged up on 18 October, and it's worthy to note that the drills are yielding positive results in curtailing various criminalities. In the area of local content development, the Nigerian Army has continued to empower its establishments, such as the Department of Army Transformation and Innovation, Command Engineering Depot, and Nigerian Army Special Vehicle Plant, among others, to boost our production and maintenance capacity. So far, these establishments have been able to facilitate the production of armored vehicles, communication equipment, rocket-propelled grenades launchers, as well as spare parts for repairs of tanks, guns, artillery fighting vehicles, and other utility vehicles. We are also sustaining our collaborative efforts with the Defense Industry Corporation and other local manufacturing companies in this regard. The Nigerian Army has also engaged some foreign technical partners and original equipment manufacturers for repair and refurbishment of some equipment, including transfer of technologies. The effort towards provision of accommodation, on the other hand, and other infrastructure have also improved significantly under the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari in 2022. In line with this undertaking, the Director of Housing under the Department of Army Logistics was created and saddled with the responsibility of taking stock and creating a database which is currently utilized to identify and address areas of critical accommodation shortages. Accordingly, several new accommodations are under construction in various barracks across the country, as efforts are also ongoing to renovate the old ones. The initiative has provided an efficient housing management system for the Nigerian Army. Additionally, robust medical arrangements that ensure prompt medical services both within and outside the country are provided to troops, particularly those wounded in action. Efforts have also been sustained for the improvement of medical facilities in all divisions and formations, as well as Nigerian Army reference hospitals. The state-of-the-art facilities available in these hospitals are also utilized by the public, thereby enhancing civil-military relations. Furthermore, to meet the manpower requirement for new formation and units, special government intervention were provided to ensure constant recruitment of troops. It is expected that recruitment of more troops will be intensified to ensure that the Nigerian Army is adequately manned and effectively carry out its constitutional roles. In order to further motivate troops and boost their morale, prompt payment of salaries and allowances have been sustained, while new welfare packages have been introduced, such as provision of soft loans. Also, free welfare flights have been extended to troops in the Northeast while on leave and passes. Efforts have also been continued to ensure regular and systemic rotation of troops to relieve overstayed personnel and inject fresh boots in the theaters of operation. So, in line with my initiative to enhance professionalism, special intervention have been introduced to improve the welfare of regimental sergeant majors, RSMs for short. Accordingly, the RSMs have been motivated with the issue of brand new official vehicle to ease their movement, as well as construction of befitting official residences to give them a serene home environment. This is in recognition of the key role they play in ensuring discipline among other ranks in the Nigerian Army. It is also designed to encourage and inspire other soldiers to strive in good and professional conduct in the service. So our civil-military relations have continued to improve, with the Department of Civil-Military Affairs conducting several sensitization seminars and promptly addressing related issues. I wish to reiterate our commitment to the promotion and adherence to human rights regulations. We are constantly monitoring and reminding troops of their obligations to respect and protect the people. Necessary measures have also been put in place to identify and ensure prompt disciplinary action against erring personnel. So a lot of achievements have also been recorded in the area of force expansion through the implementation of Army's reviewed order of battle. Several brigades and units under the newly established divisions have been operationalized. Similarly, several forward operating bases have also been established in relevant areas in order to bring and extend our reach in pursuit of violent criminals and their collaborators. Additionally, there is renewed vigor from the federal government to fast-track the operationalization of Nigerian Army aviation. When fully operationalized, Nigerian Army aviation will provide rapid deployment capability, close air support, casualty evacuation, and prompt delivery of logistics supply, among other roles. It's anticipated that with the resolute of Mr. President, the vision of operationalizing the Nigerian Army aviation will be actualized, and soon too. The Nigerian Army remains committed to providing enabling environment for our democratic process to thrive. Accordingly, contingencies to ensure effective support in aid of civil authority during the upcoming 2023 general elections have been developed. The reviewed rules of engagement and code of conduct issued to troops, as well as the positive experiences gained during the gubernatorial election held in Anambra, Ekiti, and Osun states during the year, are expected to facilitate our security support before, during, and after the 2023 general elections. I assure the nation that personnel of Nigerian Army will remain apolitical and are also poised to discharge their constitutional roles professionally in line with the best global practices. It is apparent from the foregoing, sir, that Nigerian Army has made remarkable progress during the year. These achievements are due to the numerous support of our political leaders and cooperation from sister services as well as other security agencies and, of course, eminent Nigerians. It's in appreciation of that support extended to us that some of the distinguished contributors will receive Nigerian Army Recognition Award today, sir. I wish to seize this opportunity to thank the recipients for their immense support to Nigerian Army. We urge you and other well-meaning Nigerians to continue to support us. On this note, I wish to once again and most profoundly too, sir, thank Mr. President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, for his unflinching support and encouragement to the Nigerian Army. I want to assure Mr. President and indeed Nigerians of our unalloyed loyalty, total commitment to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the defense of the territorial integrity of this great nation. Finally,